me?
Did it
Pookie made you a note.
automatically? Yes. My husband is already on board for me to get a new PC, but we'll have to start a GoFundMe now. So are you gonna manage the GoFundMe too, Pookie? Are you gonna manage the
Fix
GoFundMe?
it. Oh, yeah, Pookie's the manager of all things. What time are they supposed to show up, Lissy? Because I need them to show up, like, now. That way you can jump on the call and tell us a true crime story. Dude, do you remember during COVID when, like, computer parts were hard to find?
When everything's never mind.
I didn't do that. No one saw that. I'm gonna take a picture here. You didn't see anything. Nothing. I do this. There we are.
Oh.
There was no hit and run. I don't know what you're talking about. Look at that little car. Did y'all see that I did not get a red light ticket while I was in the red light? That is skill. Shh. We're not bringing it up, Ray. We're not bringing up anything that just happened. We. The Delphi murder trial? No. This is the thing. I need to know. I need to know what it is.
Can I have that code?
It's in the chat in Discord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Lissy. Yeah, yep. It's a fine and dandy day. It always is when I'm driving.
Hi.
Hi. Tell me a story.
This one is a weird one. I'm trying to kind of almost like semi-wait. I've heard of it. Oh god, I can hear myself in your stream now. So yeah, I've heard about it because there's been a lot of like, again, it's that kind of, is there corruption, is there not kind of thing. It's like a semi-old case. I think it was like 2017. Two young girls went missing and then they were found, but they were trying to figure out who obviously murdered them. And it's been all like shrouded under secrecy, like, you know how like in your kind of constitution, it's a lot about, you know, the people must know, you have to share all this information.
Yeah, the
That
freedom.
it's been
Yeah.
it's been all kind of like hidden, so people are kind of suspicious about like why. And then they had no leads or anything, and then just as I don't know, again, this is one side of it, just as like one of the sheriffs were going to get reelected, they were like, no, we found a lead, and it was this guy that said he was there on the day and said his story, but we think it's him, even though there's nothing to that I can see that really links him to the murders. He said he was there because, like, you know, he said he was like a witness. He was like, oh yeah, when it all happened, when they were missing, he was like, yeah, I was there, but I didn't see anything or whatever. There's no DNA. The two witnesses did like a, you know, what's it called, like a sketch drawing of who they think they saw there, like in the area, and neither of them match him. But they think that there was a bullet casing that wasn't shot, but it was just like in the gun and then released. They say that that was from his gun, even though there's I don't know, I've been reading, like I've been looking into a lot about how, you know, like how like they think, oh, you can match a gun to the gun casing kind of thing, and that's not as like as like people like say it is. Like, you know, if you're using the same manufacturer, then several guns could have similar, all the same grooves in a way. It's not guaranteed, and there's no tests, so it's a bit of a loose thing. But for his protection, the police put him into prison, so he's been not convicted.
For
his protection. Yeah, for his protection, because it was a big case in the area, for his protection, and in the isolation unit. So he's like, the guy has literally just been like, he was just living his life, and then now he's in you know, isolation in prison, and basically has gone a bit crazy. Like, apparently he's confessed, but he's confessed like wrong facts. Like, he confessed that he shot them, that he killed his whole family, that he did all this because he's just so messed up from being in solitary confinement, basically, in isolation.
It sounds like a forced confession, because, like...
Yeah.
That they...
That's what it seems like so far.
So, election years, they try to solve cases, especially...
That was a big one. So they think that it was the same year that, and this like sheriff brought it up to kind of say like, look, kind of thing. So it's very sus, and everything's like under lock and key. They're not televising the trial. They're not releasing the transcripts either. They don't know about maybe after the trial, but at the moment, unless you're in that room, you don't see anything. And we haven't, like, a lot of the public hasn't seen anything, so people are really like suspicious, like that they're just trying to hide things and make it, like, you know, seem easier. I don't know. I'm curious.
So fucked up.
It started on Monday. They had jury selection. Oh, and another one. Another one of that case. So the defense had someone come in. I can't remember who exactly. I don't know if it was just like someone. But someone basically was able to get into the defense kind of like war room-ish that has all of the details of the case. And obviously they haven't been made public. But they got in there and took photos and released it to the media. That's why we know small bits of it. And the judge blamed the defense team and basically said, you're not allowed to defend your client anymore, even though they didn't do anything. Like... But it was like, oh, apparently it was your fault that someone else snuck in and was able to take all this information out, even though she put an order saying no one was allowed to know anything. So it's really suspicious. I'm not really like
mistrial.
It hasn't even started yet. Apparently they had to go to the court, like to the the Court of Appeal? No, what's your the higher judge thing, and appeal. Yeah, there's like a higher level basically. Yeah. And they had to go there, and most of the time things that go there fail because it's so hard to kind of, you know, and they got reinstated because it was so bad. They were like, you shouldn't have been released. There was no reason for you to do that. So now, like, the judge, like the defense so the judge is like working with the defense that's like that she tried to get rid of. So it's a bit like, is she going to be like really biased because she tried to get rid of this team but she wasn't dismissed. She wasn't like changed for doing this. So it's a bit like, is she going to be fair?
This is not, because you think that guy has pretty much lost his life now already. Because he's
and it has the presumption of innocence, that's the whole thing, isn't it? It's like you're presumed innocent until
guilty. That's the thing, like, you've got
that's the thing, you don't
in America, which is so strong.
That
there's no such thing as being innocent until proven guilty, because the minute that it's put on you, people will start saying stuff. It's using like factual evidence that like comes up that they can use. They'll start saying, well, making up stuff, and so opinion, you're never innocent.
Well, like you said with that, how I said about those two drawings? Apparently, like, some people have like put both of the drawings together, and apparently that makes it look kind of like this guy, and it's like, that's so tenuous. You're trying to make it fit, kind of thing.
Exactly.
But apparently, as well, sorry. You go ahead.
No, that's what like happens a lot of times whenever you see these cases. Like, people make the evidence fit their narrative.
Yeah. What exactly, especially if they.
Bro.
I like how mine's like a few seconds delayed, and I'm like, okay, let's wait.
I love how I'm assuming you just wrecked too, because I did.
I about did.
No, I did.
No, she swerved.
Oh, I forgot to bring Mix It Up back up. Hold on a minute.
But yeah, so that's going to be an interesting one. There's a lawyer that I follow that is gone to there, so she can sit in the jury in the trial kind of thing to see what's happening, because literally no one knows. There's media obviously in there as well, but like,
what again. Is this?
Where is the? Let me see. Let me Google it.
Oh, my camera on my truck is just going crazy. Hello, stop. Park brake. Holy moly.
But yeah, apparently as well, there's the state made a motion, because apparently, again, one of the things that came out when the leaks kind of happened was that the two girls were kind of like laid out in kind of almost like a ritual like kind of like setting, like they were really like precisely placed, and they think it was ritualistic. But and apparently in that area there's like Odinists. That's like a thing in, I don't know much about it. But it, like, the defense wanted to argue that it could have been them, but they were stopped by the judge that just said, no, you're not allowed to do that. And it's like, well, why, if there's another option of someone else that could do it? But nope, not allowed. So that can't come into trial.
Hi, Felix.
Oh, this is from Indiana. Okay, yeah.
That was at Indiana.
Yeah. It's a small town. It makes sense. Okay.
What was the
name so they've done it to the
Delphi.
Like they've like they've done a trial like not in the area that it happened, but kind of close-ish, because obviously there was so much media attention that it wouldn't have been fair. I think that's why they also put him. That's how they could justify it, even though like they tried to get him out of there, because like he literally deteriorated in prison. But yeah, so
this one article. I'm so sorry, everyone. Actually, you know what? I'm not. I'm trying to read
You're
it.
driving.
Okay. His attorney claims the hair that was at the crime scene belonged to someone
else. Another one. Yeah, that's another one that came out recently. Is that apparently they found hair at the crime scene, like on one of the bodies, and it doesn't come back to him. So it's like, okay, but he confessed. So that's my worry, is that if the jurors are just like, well, he confessed, so he must have done it, you know?
This is the one where they were on Snapchat too, wasn't there? Yeah.
Yes.
Captured.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's like a blurry. Yeah. There's a blurry kind of like figure. So they were trying to find that person, and they're saying that was the defendant.
Oh my gosh, I remember watching. There was a whole episode about that on something that I was watching.
But yeah, like it was really big. It was like years ago. It went cold for a little while, and then yeah, as soon as the sheriff wanted to get reelected or something, they brought back up that he was one of the people that they talked to at the time
Oh,
and
There's
got
been
him.
lots of people that has confessed to murder though and not been charged with it because there wasn't enough evidence. The
Yeah.
evidence didn't say it was them. Actually, I was just listening to a case like that the other day that somebody confessed to it, and there was three. That one case I posted. There's three people that confessed to a murder. It was the one that Tom posted. Three people that confessed to one murder. All
Hmm.
three of them said that they did it, but they didn't arrest any of them because all the evidence, there was no evidence saying that they did it. So they couldn't arrest
I
them
think
for
with
it.
that one
There's
is
no
that they
way of
didn't want
proving it.
to. I think that one of those. I think that one could be as well. They don't want to arrest the wrong person. They can't prove which one did it, so it's like that's a hard one.
Well,
If
I
like,
think they were even like years apart too. You know what I mean?
oh, okay.
Yeah, and
But yeah,
like
there's no
one.
evidence, and there's literally it doesn't seem like. And also, what they did something different in this trial, whereas when they did the jury thing, they did it on Monday and Tuesday, and apparently they got to do like little mini openings, basically describing like what their side of the case was, and like yeah, the states one, it was so tenuous, it felt like that, but they have the confession, so I wonder like that's I guess their big silver, they have the confession, they have the gun that they say they can track back to hit the bullet that can they can trace back to his gun, even though I don't know, there has been some talk of how like that can't be used, kind of like how like a lie detectors used to be like used and then they kind of got debunked. I feel like that the gun recognition could be along the same lines. um
I'm reading a story that Dark just posted.
Oh, more than 2 decades ago, a Kenosha County woman was found dead in her Pleasant Prairie home. She left behind a letter and voicemails for police saying in the event of her death they should suspect her husband. Ooh.
He was just sentenced for the second time.
I remember reading one like that, and I can't remember if it was that one or a different one where someone basically set up someone else for their own death.
Do you remember this story? I don't know if you guys heard it. Like, the husband hired a hitman to kill his wife, and she ended up like beating the hitman almost to death.
Oh,
And told him that she would call an ambulance if he told her who sent him. You guys
I
ever
don't know
heard that story? Oh,
No.
you need to look it up.
It
What
first
was her
reminded me
name?
of the one where this woman like married this
My
guy
gaming
basically for his
game.
money and tried to hire someone. I feel like I don't know if I'm mixing up stories, but like I feel like she literally found someone like on like hitman.com or something like that, and tried to get her husband that she married just to literally take his money. But then ended up hiring an undercover cop and then being like they pretended that they went through with it, and then she was there acting like, oh my god, my husband. And then the whole they had to prove basically that like yeah, she did intend to kill him and would have.
Just look this up really quick.
I may or may not have just severely hurt my truck.
Okay, so
$43,000
someone.
worth.
Oh God.
Is this Darks? Oh, no,
No,
this is your
this is the
one.
one.
Yeah.
So the woman, there's an intruder next door. The intruder was in the bedroom with a hammer. The woman who lives there thinks she may have strangled him. He was down when she left. And they said she's bleeding. Does she need an ambulance? No, she's a nurse. She says call an ambulance for the guy. He may be dead. That was in Portland in 2006. Okay, so she was 51 years old, right? 51 years old.
Oh gosh.
And I will not die. I live life, blah, blah, blah. So she found a note by the microwave from her husband of almost 18 years. Sue haven't been sleeping, had to get away, went to the beach. He added that he'll see her on Sunday. And then she heard a beeping sound of her security alarm. She disarmed it, walked through the house to the front door, and then went back outside. When she came back outside, she kicked off her shoes and noticed that it was dark in her bedroom. So a man lurched at her,